Good afternoon, Panama. Actually, I should be saying good afternoon to the rest of the world because we're putting this out everywhere, every Sunday. That's right, guys. The Sunday Spin once again coming to you live from beautiful Panama. Yes, I'm talking the Panama Canal, Republic of Panama in Central America, you know, where we have all the beautiful islands, white sand beaches, amazing restaurants, following through the jungle, you know, that place. So, guys, this week, Sunday Spin, we got a cool lineup. I got some awesome folks over on the Caribbean side of Panama. You know, the last 3 weeks, we did Bocas, we did the beach towns, we did Boca Chica, which are all on the Pacific side. We're hopping over to the Caribbean side to a beautiful archipelago called Bocas del Toro. It is the #1 tourism area in Panama. So we have some cool folks coming on today. We're going to start with good friends Erin and Marty Williams with Azul Paradise Resort and Hotel. That's right, guys. They have 2 different locations, 2 gorgeous places full of fun. So when you go to Bocas, you can have a little bit of fun in town and then get out to the resort in the middle of nowhere, and that isolation with that significant other is my wife's and one of our favorite places on earth. So we're going to talk to them. Right after that, we're going to talk to Tyson Merrill, and he is the owner of Island Property Management. He's going to talk to us about what he does and what brought him down to Panama. Then we're going to have Kelly and Juan Pablo de Caro, and they are the owners of Buena Vista restaurant. Super cool people, very, very nice. They're going to tell us all about living in Panama. Can't wait to have them on. And we're going to finalize the show with Sara Hernadez with Inside Panama Island Realty. Guys, she's going to show us a little bit about what you can expect to buy or rent in Bocas del Toro. Because, again, this is an archipelago. I mean, we're talking islands, you know, and of course there's a lot of crazy stuff going on around the world. Everyone's dealing with COVID. We're seeing all kinds of just unrest up in the US. That's, you know, I'm from the US. A lot of the folks joining me today are from the US, and we have friends and family back home, and we're hearing it. So the whole purpose of this show is just to show you guys the opportunity and that other people do it. You know, people like myself, people like Erin and Marty, you know, we came down to Panama, we made it happen. And it's probably one of the best things we've ever done. They're going to tell you about that in just a minute. Guys, we want to thank our sponsor, Inside Panama. Very awesome sponsor. They're doing something cool right now, guys. They got the Fly and Try program. So if you come down to Panama and you rent a place, you know, they always say come down, rent a place for a month, 2 months, 3 months. Get a feel for Panama. It's so small, you can really see every nick and cranny of Panama within that time frame. And if you end up buying a home, they're going to pay that first month's rent. So super cool program. To find out more details on that, email them. Free ebook at ipreinfo.com. More info in the text of this post. Guys, again, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We have our lovely guests, Erin and Marty Williams. Good afternoon, guys. How are you?
Hey, Austin, how are you?
Good afternoon.
Oh, you know, I'm just sitting here in Panama City, wishing I was on a beautiful island. But at least I can talk to some great friends that are out there. Now, you guys are a very interesting couple. You know, you moved down, 3 kids, hotels, restaurants. You got something new we're going to talk about later in the show. But tell us a little bit about yourselves, how you chose Panama, and more so Bocas del Toro.
Yeah, actually, we always wanted to live on a Caribbean island or somewhere along the ocean. Ended up seeing Panama on House Hunters International and didn't waste any time, honestly. Got tickets for my birthday the weekend after we saw the show and fell in love instantly.
Yeah, we went house hunting the first time we ever came down here. So we kind of picked something out on the islands that we liked, and away it went. So.
Yeah, and it was just going to be like our getaway for the winters. You know, we're from the Midwest, so we didn't want to spend any more winters in the cold. So we were going to take off. We were going to homeschool our kids on the beach and then fly back. But it turns out that we just never left.
Yeah, we stopped going back.
Yeah. We just fell in love with it.
Kind of easy to do, you know? It's so...
Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, I envy you guys. I love the city. I'm a city rat. It's who I am. I like the beep beep and the sirens. But as my profession, I get to travel around the whole country. And every time I go to Bocas, I mean, anyone watching this, if you've never been to Panama, you've never been to Bocas del Toro, Google Bocas del Toro. I mean, we're going to have some photos near the end of the show when Sara's showing us these listings. It's just such an amazing, beautiful place. So, guys, super cool. Now, tell me, you're living in a foreign country. You come down. You guys said, okay, you know what? We're going to get a second home. What was like the experience doing that with children? It's one thing to come down as a couple, but when you got 3 little ones, it's a whole different story. What were some of the things you had to look at? Schools and medical. And can you kind of walk us through that process in your mind?
Yeah, I guess. We actually started with the idea we just wanted to spend more time with our kids. We just wanted to slow down, wake up every morning, be on the beach, paddleboard, kayak, just be with them. And that was the original idea, is that we were worried about losing time. That one day we would wake up, they'd be grown up, and we would, it'd be too late. So.
And again, it was almost 8 years ago, so the kids were a lot smaller. And even in the last 8 years, things have changed. So we went from being on the secluded island of Basamentos we did that for 3 years, and then we moved them into town. And now we do an international type school in town as well.
Yeah. But I mean, the original idea was, if you know a little bit about us from our background, we owned wedding reception halls. So that's what we did. Everything from the planning, the photography, putting it all together. And then once we moved to Panama, we started talking about this place and we started showing people what it was. We got this amazing opportunity with an investor to build a resort with over-the-water bungalows. So it just kind of like every door kept opening up as we explored Panama, and the opportunities got better and better. And the feeling of being here just always felt right. So being with the kids, we kept our health care in the United States, although we don't really feel that we need it. Just that we go back and forth quite a bit. But I feel like the health care is fine.
Yeah. And diversity that the kids get to be, raised in is just absolutely amazing experience for them. I mean, they got friends from all over the world. Yeah.
I mean, there's a huge group of people that have moved into these islands, lots of children, lots of different languages spoken. It's very, very international, and it's very enriched for them, which is the environment we like them growing up in.
Of course. No, I mean, who wouldn't? And if you enjoy it as well, that just makes it even better. Now, tell me about so, during lockdown, it's a little different. We're dealing with this COVID thing. The whole world is. However, living in an island, you're going to be one, like you said, you want to spend more time with your kids. But can you give us, someone that's maybe sitting in Seattle, Washington, or New York, or in the middle of the Midwest, what are some of the activities that are like your favorites or your kids' favorites and that you guys just do all the time?
Oh my gosh, what are we always out on the water? We're always boating, we're always tubing, we're always wakeboarding.
Surfing.
Kids are surfing all the time.
Yeah, the kids' schedule is they go to a 5-hour online school, so they get accredited diploma from the States when they get through high school.
Yeah.
And they go surfing every afternoon, jiu-jitsu. I mean,
Yeah, we do a school through the University of Mizzou. So they basically have all these online teachers. We have learning coaches on site, and they go to a co-op group with their best friends. And then right after school, they go surfing and skating and boating. It's unbelievable, the lifestyle they have here.
Yeah, that's incredible. So cool. And I mean, even with that school, because I think that's probably a big thing when people think, okay, move to a foreign country. Obviously, it's going to be a lot less expensive, way better way of life. I mean, waking up with the birds tweeting, ocean breezes. You can walk across the street and get your toes in the sand. Like, it's incredible. And it's all year long, Yeah. But tell us a little bit about the community. What's some of your favorite parts about the community in Bocas del Toro?
I mean, there's so much to say about the community. I think the local community is very welcoming. They're amazing, wonderful people. And I think that's part of why we feel so great here and so welcome.
Yeah, when we first started here out on Basamentos, I mean, this community of Salt Creek basically all became our family.
Yeah.
So it was amazing.
Yeah, we just fell in love with how great and how family oriented this culture is. And it's the way of life just grew on us more and more and more. Now it's hard to leave it.
Oh, I bet. And, you know, of course, obviously things are a little different right now. And you guys are you're the power couple that always takes things by the horns. Like, you know, I know we were doing a show, Living La Vida Lockdown, right at the beginning of this whole COVID-19 situation. And you guys had just started a new project. You know, hey, we're not going to be held down. We're going to go. We're going to do something that's great for the planet. We can make money, and we can also do great things for the community. And that's something that's really neat. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this new endeavor that you guys have gotten into?
Oh, I think you froze on us. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you back?
Okay, perfect. You supposed to. Yeah, we're back. The new project, actually, we're really excited about. I don't know if most people know, but Panama is lined with palm trees everywhere. And part of the indigenous community, one of the things they do is they make coconut oil right on the beach. And it's something I fell in love with 7 years ago. I use it for everything. I know that's a cliche, but literally watching them take the coconuts right from the palm trees, open them, cook the oil on it on a fire, it's unreal. Everybody I've given it to, it's been incredible. The results are incredible. So a couple years ago, Marty and I decided to start making soaps for the hotel, 100% pure coconut oil soaps. And it went over like crazy. People were calling us afterwards to send it. So during COVID, we thought, you know what? This is a good opportunity to keep the morale up for our staff, keep them going. We can buy the coconut oil from the indigenous communities, keep them working, bringing in money. And then we created a product for our staff in town to box up and ship. And okay.
Yeah, just last week we already shipped out 150 or so
orders. And so what it is, Austin, here's the finished completed package. It's a map of Del Toro. It's a sensory box talking about the islands in the Nobe language. You can see that here. And then it's, you know, tells you about the community here. It's a whole sensory experience. You get it here. And then you get a 16-page guide with a whole bunch of discounts and awesome opportunities in Bocas del Toro. So we included that in the box. And yeah, we just launched like the opening of orders, and so far so good. You know, we got about a 3,000 goal to get everybody through Christmas working, but we're going. We're doing it.
So tell me this. You said you just shipped out 100 orders. Where are these soaps going? Throughout the U.S.?
Throughout the
U.S. right now.
We've actually been getting emails asking us to ship them to Europe, Australia, and all these places. But currently right now, we can only ship to the U.S. It's the only thing we figured out. But I think in time, we'll figure out the rest.
Of course. well, and that's so awesome. You know, like, again, Erin and Marty and everyone else that's coming on today is currently in the middle of the ocean on the Caribbean side, you know, and it's like, just it goes to show, you know, you want to get something done. You want to make something happen no matter what. Hey, let's make some soaps and sell a story. And I got to say, you know, I've stayed at Erin and Marty's hotels and resorts before, and the soap is incredible. Oh, it's such an amazing soap.
That's awesome.
The fragrances, I think I always have a peppermint one or like a mint one of some sort.
Yeah, that's the one we call love because it's one of my favorites. It's minting in charcoal. But hey, we're going to send you a box.
Awesome.
You should have a box. You guys.
I should.
I'm sending you one. You'll get it next.
I love it. Thank you. Oh my gosh. And guys, if other people that are watching the show want to get a box as well, how can they order it?
Oh, they just go to saltcreeksoaps.com. They can also follow us on Facebook. We're posting a lot of our adventures and how it's made, and it's eco-friendly. Obviously, it's sustainable. It's helping communities. It's keeping our staff working, and
we use the solid bars and everything, so we're trying to reduce the amount of plastic.
Yeah, we're going away from everything is a keepsake. So we're opening up other products lines too. We're zero waste.
Awesome. I love it. That's so cool. Now, I have to mention one thing because I actually do follow your Facebook page, and I'm pretty amazed by the social aspect of it where you're giving soaps to the local community members throughout the islands. How much soap have you given away?
I mean, one thing that we need to be cautious about, because we are hotels, right? And eventually we'll be able to open our doors and people are flying in. We have an obligation to protect the community. And a lot of these houses do not have running water, do not have power. And so part of our mission is to make sure that we can have soaps in their hands, so we're stopping the spread of any germs, so that nothing goes back into these indigenous communities. And so we're teaching the children young, like, hey, it's important, not just for COVID, but for any virus that could be transmitted. So the kids are out playing. We're just constantly talking to them about making sure, we're washing hands, we have clean water, and we got some other projects in the midst. If COVID keeps going, we're going to keep going, helping these communities. I mean, I guess even if it stops and we're allowed to open our doors, but we're going to keep going and helping and making sure that, we're taking our responsibility seriously, that if people are coming, we're also stopping the spread of germs amongst these communities that they'll be visiting.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. You guys are great. Now, before we say goodbye today, I would love to ask you one last question. And what would be any type of advice or suggestions you would tell someone, besides just get on a plane and come because you'll fall in love, but any advice that you want to tell people that are looking at Panama, like anything?
I mean, for us, and hopefully for everybody else's experience, especially coming from the U.S., it's a really easy transition. Panama's extremely foreign friendly, American dollar being used. In general, you don't have to learn Spanish to be down here. As you stay down here more, you want to be part of the culture and you want to evolve in that. I think that's a huge bonus. But with the internet, you can work anywhere in the world.
Yeah, I mean, our internet here on this island in the middle of the Caribbean is faster than our internet at our house in the Midwest. If that puts it in perspective. We're in the middle of the Caribbean on an island, and we're streaming faster internet than we do when we go back.
That's incredible. Very cool. Well, guys, as always, I appreciate you. I can't wait to check out the soaps. I'm very proud of you guys doing always great things in Bocas del Toro. Thank you again for joining me for the 4th episode of the Sunday Spin. We're about to jump on with Tyson, Merrill. I hope I'm saying that right, but probably not. I don't usually. So, guys, thanks again. We'll talk to you soon. Erin and Marty.
Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.
And now we have Tyson, Merrill. Am I saying that correct, my friend?
Merrill, Tyson Merrill. Pretty close.
There you go. There we go. Hey, I only own a newspaper and a magazine, but spelling and speaking people's last names has never been my forte. Just something that happens. Thank you for joining me today. Absolutely. Tyson, tell me a little bit. Now, you own Island Property Management. You started this company yourself. You're from the U.S. So tell us a little bit where you're from, how you got to Bocas del Toro, and why you came up with this company.
All right. Well, originally I'm from Texas. I've lived quite a few places throughout Texas. I went to college at Sam Houston State University. And while I was in college, my mother was working closely with the Panamanian consulate in Houston. And so through her contacts there, she got to know Panama. They came down here to visit, and they ended up buying a farm here in Bocas del Toro in an area called the Darklands. So whenever I finished college, I decided to come down and check out Panama, take a look at it, see what it was all about. And I spent a few nights in Panama City, and then I came to Bocas. And just like Erin and Marty, I fell in love with the place. I got out to see the farm. I got to see the town. You know how Isla Colón is, Main Street, people from all over the world. I was 26 years old. This was in 2006. So being young, living on the islands, it was a great place to live. So it turned in from me coming to travel and eventually make my way back to the States to staying here and, spending time in Isla Colón and going out to the farm. But one of the things we had issues with from the time we purchased until that time I came down here was having somebody to manage our farm. We had a local guy that was out there cleaning it, but it was very difficult to communicate with them. We could get a hold of them maybe once a month. So that was one of the big things that made me decide to open Island Property Management. And basically what we do is we protect people's investments, right of possession properties, titled, any type of property people buy here and they don't live here. We manage it for them. We check on the properties. Our basic services include just going out, checking them, because they are right of possession, and you do have to show that you're using the land. And we do that for the owners. We check them. I send them photos. I'm always in communication with them. And those round out our very basic services.
Awesome. That's really cool. And so when you say, farm, what are you guys growing on the farm, or is it just land that you have as an investment? Or can you tell us a little bit about what the farm does?
Sure. Our farm in the Darklands, we already sold. We sold that in 2009.
Okay.
But I do have another farm on Solarte right now. I mean, we grow everything: plantains, bananas, pineapples, yucca, daishin, a lot of the local root vegetables. Pretty much anything we can get to get started here, we grow it. I'm working on 3 different farms right now, one of which Finca Matumbal, Sara will show you later, which is for sale. And here we've been growing. We've designed a chicken coop and have 30 chickens now. We're getting 6 eggs per day. We've planted hundreds and hundreds of plantains and bananas. We have pineapples, probably 200 pineapples on the farm, but a lot of different stuff. And pretty much anything we can get to grow, we're planting right now.
Man, that's super cool. How fun. And then what do you do with all the produce?
A lot of it we'll share with the workers, everything we produce. We also have a lot of people water, coconut water. There's probably 300 or 400 trees of coconut water on here. So we drink that every day. It's great for us to drink. We get it right off the farm. And we try and share it a lot. We also barter. Some people need certain things here right now that they can't get. And, we have something like that. For instance, some of my chickens I've gotten through trading with coconut water, plantains, stuff like that. It's almost like a barter system with the world it is today.
I love it, dude. That's super cool.
Yeah.
And then tell me, okay, so you manage properties. Now, does this include if someone buys a house and maybe they're only coming down 3 to 6 months a year, or maybe they just want to do, we see a lot of foreign investment in Panama. People want to, especially with stocks and bonds right now, that people are getting out of paper and looking for hard assets such as real estate, land, where they can bank that money. Is that something that in your services provide as well?
It is. So when I started out, I provided those basic services of maintaining properties, and people started calling me for vacation rentals, to manage their vacation rentals, for instance. I started that in 2008, and there was the big boom. And before I knew it, I had 32 vacation rentals I was managing. In 2015, we successfully sold that part of the business. And I moved on to work on La Vida Solarte, which is a sustainable farm. So people have contacted me to do jobs like that. I've helped people with their construction. I don't know if you've been to the Lost Boys Blues Bar on Caronero. It's a 3-story live music venue. So I helped that client for 7 years. He was in Germany. I was here on the ground. I was working with this construction crew, making sure they had all the materials, running logistics, which can be pretty difficult in Panama. And even more so here in Bocas, with the chain to get it here, going across the mountains on the ferry over the islands. So I helped in that extent, helping them to manage their projects from a distance and just being someone they could communicate with and who could run the cruise for them. And I'm working on a similar project in Ponch right now as well, building a house for a client, a 3-story house.
That's awesome, man. That's super cool. Now, of course, living in Bocas, you've been there for a long time. What are some of your favorite activities and your favorite parts just about living in Bocas in general?
I just love being on the water. It's a whole another world under there, going out, paddling, surfing, fishing. If it's flat, we're out fishing or snorkeling or doing something. If there's waves, we're out surfing. It's just being able to do things like that, especially during times like this, where we can't be out around town or anything like that. Just having the world of the ocean and being able to spend time out there. I love the international community. I love going out and having dinner and sitting with somebody from Germany, somebody from Spain, and somebody from Venezuela, and all speaking the same language, meeting people from a lot of different cultures. There's just not many places in the world where you can get that on a daily basis. Yeah,
especially in like an awesome setting, because Bocas is fun, man. It's a fun spot.
It's a blast.
It's definitely has that Pirates of the Caribbean feel to it in town. Lively parties, lots of great, amazing restaurants. Actually, our next guests, Kelly and Juan Pablo, are going to be coming on and just a few minutes and talking to us about their restaurant. One of my favorite burgers in Bocas, just an incredible restaurant. So, I mean, it's all about lifestyle, you know, and I'm seeing, you know, you say you're from Texas, I'm from Portland, Oregon. It's like, you know, I know a lot of people that live down here in Panama are similar minded. You know, I'm the same. I came on the coattails of a buddy's journey almost 9 years ago, and you know, we're coming for 3 months. I couldn't believe it. I'm going to go live in the jungle. This is crazy. This is wild. Then once you get here, you're like, wait a second, huge metropolitan city. So lots of banking, lots of opportunity here in the city. And then, you know, you have places like Bocas del Toro where it's a whole different world. You know, it literally is. And if you're into that lifestyle or you just like all different kinds of lifestyle like myself, you know, you want to be in the city, but you also want to be on some islands and you want to be in the mountain towns of Boquete. You know, Panama, that's what I think is such an attraction for many, is that you have so much diversity. And, you know, like you can be in Bocas del Toro and drive to Boquete in what, like 5 hours? Like,
oh, less. We can do it in my truck. Once we get to Amarante, a 30-minute boat ride to Amarante, and then we'll take our truck over. And we've actually surfed here in the morning, gotten on the ferry, driven across to the Pacific, and surfed over in La Barqueta close to David in the same day. So, you know, I don't think there's many places in the world where you can surf two oceans in the same day.
That's super cool.
Great. Yeah, and like you said, with Boquete and the mountains right there as well. You know, we're on the islands here. It's hot all the time. Sometimes you get a little tired of it, and it's nice to take a 2.5, 3 hour drive up to Boquete and be in the cool mountains.
Of course. I feel you, my man. Now, tell me, obviously with anything in life, there's pros and there's cons with everywhere. What are some of your pros and cons that you see about living in Bocas del Toro?
Well, I think the pros we discussed, you know, everything, the lifestyle, being able to work. I don't know if I necessarily call them cons, but it is more difficult to get work done here on the island simply because of logistics. I'd say that's one of the hardest things to deal with is the logistics of working here. You know, if we're out on a job on Cayo de Agua or Isla Popa or Bastimentos and we're missing some screws, you know, it's going all the way back to town. It's so different. You can't just drive to a Lowe's or a Home Depot or electronics store. Right now on a project, I'm trying to pick out tile and I have to do it online looking at it. So those are things that make it more difficult. I wouldn't say they're cons, but it does make life and working here a little more challenging than other places.
Well, it just makes you think a little bit more, and which is good in the long run, I guess. Once you forget the screws once, you know, you probably don't do it too often.
Exactly.
Because, you know, I've done the similar situation of working tourism in the Pro Islands, and it's like, all right, you know, like you're getting everything ready from 4:30 to 6:30. And once you're on the ferry to get out there, it's like, you better have everything ready because there's no going back.
Yeah.
So no forgetting the beer, no forgetting the sandwiches. Everything's got to be perfect. So obviously a little bit different market, but same concept. You know, it's not like you can just pop back and pick it back up. Well, exactly. Tyson, man, it's been a true honor having you on the show today. I really appreciate you, my friend. And definitely have to grab a beer next time I'm in Bocas del Toro.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Austin.
Awesome, Tyson. We'll talk to you soon, brother. Ciao.
All right, buddy. Bye.
All right, guys. Here we are with two of my favorite Bocas del Toro peeps. How are you, Kelly and Juan Pablo?
We're hanging in here. How are you?
I love it. I love the flower. You just, you know, give me some of that island vibe, man. Juan Pablo, glowing brown man. Kelly's got the flower in her hair. Like it's living the perfect life. I guess you guys are staying in the sun, huh?
We are doing our best.
Yeah, that's awesome. So guys, Kelly and Juan Pablo own and operate one of my favorite places to eat in Bocas del Toro, right over the water, Buena Vista. And, you know, I just want to, again, the whole purpose of this show is to talk to other people that have left their home countries and come to Panama, made it happen because they found a love for this place. Kelly, Juan Pablo, tell us a little bit about yourselves. Where are each of you from and how did you meet?
Well, I am Panamanian, how you know, and I born in Panama City. I part of my life I grew up in Argentina, but then I back to Panama in 93 and 2000 I moved out down here.
And I'm from Michigan. I graduated from Michigan State University in 2002. And I decided to take a moment and went and helped out some of my friends' parents on a boat they were traveling on. And we arrived in Bocas a little over a year later. And I decided it was time to begin my real life and to get off the boat and go back to the U.S. And I never left. 17
Very
years ago.
cool. Wow. Oh my gosh. And did you two meet in Bocas del Toro?
At Barco Hundido.
The Barca Hundido, by the way, guys, is a super, super party spot all night long, wild, totally fun. And they have great pizza too, by the way. That's super cool. And then when did you end up opening up your first, because I know you've had 2 locations for Buena Vista. When did you open up your first location there in Bocas Town?
Well, we got it. We started our first restaurant. It was a different one, and it was in 2004. And then we got opportunity to get in the Buena Vista, and we got it in 2005. I've been working since I'm 14 in Panama City. I working in restaurants and all the stuff, and then I started the first one, and then they saw us work together. It was a good opportunity for renters, who the ones that actually started in the Buena Vista back in '97, and they were listening for a couple of years, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, you guys are the couple. They're perfect for having the Buena Vista. Why you don't rent them the space? We want you to have it. And since 2005, March 2005, we have it, and we have it since then.
Very cool. And your latest location, when did you open that location? It's just so beautiful.
2016. We built it in 2015, opened in January of 2016. We still have several of our original staff who have worked for us for 15 years. We really like to focus on keeping our local staff and hiring new staff and training them. And we miss our staff so much now that we've been closed for over 4 months.
Gosh,
thanks to COVID. We're in touch, but it's not the same.
Well, and I've always noticed that about you two and your business, more so your business, because I'm always in and out, and sometimes we miss each other. But your staff are always the same, and it's like so incredible. It's really neat to see that. Obviously, Juan Pablo, you are from Panama City, but Kelly, coming into a foreign country and then working so well with the locals, I think that's something that's really cool about Bocas del Toro. And everybody speaks English. So, if you're one of those gringos back in the US or Canada that's like thinking about moving to Panama, but hey, I don't speak Spanish, trust me, man. I bet Kelly speaks Spanish, but my Spanish is the worst. Like I can.
If you don't mind, man. Like mine, it's fine.
Well, they say, go ahead.
That's one of the gems of Bocas, I think, is the original culture, the culture here, the Wadi Wadi. So a lot of the English speaking comes from Wadi Wadi, which is Bocas's form of, it's a bit like Creole. And so you don't need to speak Spanish. And I love to hear the locals speak Wadi Wadi. And I hope that it never, ever disappears. And there's such a rich history and culture here in Bocas.
Yeah, I agree. And it's obviously a super fun place. And you two have children. And tell me a little bit about raising daughters on an island.
I can tell you, I think it's a problem for everybody who's raising daughters. We have something to say, but yeah, the schools is a little complicated, but they're having fun right now. In their past life before COVID, they used to go to Almirante every day. That's a pretty cool it's a private school, but it's really awesome. Good system. They were having a lot of fun for a little time. They only went for a month.
Take the boat. They had 2 weeks of school, but take the boat in the morning, walk to school, go to school in Almirante for the day, then come back.
The little pod, like the little friends that are all going together in Almirante, and they're all taking the boat, and they're all talking to each other and being friends and waiting for each other to get the same boat, and it's cool. Having kids here is actually awesome because it's somehow when they started the primary school, it was very easy because there wasn't so much stress on getting a better, the best education ever, but they have enough education with home. We actually help them some. And And it was cool because there's like a few hours of staying in school, but then we see them all the time. They come to the restaurant, they go to the beach, they ride their own bicycles, they go into school on bicycles by themselves, and all that kind of stuff that normally in any city pretty much now you cannot see it.
Or even smaller towns. They can have so much freedom here. They can ride their bikes to their classes. They can ride their bikes to the beach with their friends. They can do anything. And for us, we have never raised kids anywhere else, but at least we grew up elsewhere, so we know what it's like. But for them, they don't even know what they're living because it's the only life that they know. They think that this is just what everybody's life is growing up.
Yeah, they think this is boring.
Gosh, dang, I wish I had that kind of boring when I was a kid.
Exactly.
I would love to be in the city, I can go to the mall and stuff like that. And it's like, you're not. It's
well,
good for one day.
My son keeps asking me about going to see the snow, and I'm like, dude, you don't like being cold. Like, you don't even realize. Let me put you in the freezer for 10 minutes. But then my wife says something about that's illegal. I don't know. Like, but I agree with you, like it's incredible. And I love it too. Obviously my wife is Panamanian. But I am from the United States and I grew up in the US. I mean, back in my day, I'm sure Kelly, we're around the same age it was a little bit different back then. And we had some of those freedoms, like riding your bike with your friends down the sidewalk and, where things are a lot different in the US these days and just getting more extreme. I mean, I just keep seeing this stuff on the news. It's just like, oh my goodness.
It's crazy.
Woo! Thank God I live in Panama. I'll take the lockdown any day over all that craziness. So
exactly. We're still blessed to be here.
Exactly. Now, so tell me, like, what are some of the things that you guys like to do as a family? Like, what's one family activity that living on an island that one can expect to do? Surfing? Are you guys big into surfing? Are you big into boating, hiking?
Yeah, I love surfing. I love being in the water. Pretty much like Tyson was saying, it's like it's such a cool thing that you can actually gotta stand up paddle and go stand up paddle for a while, be by yourself. Don't have to deal with people for a while. When you're working in restaurants and you're seeing people all the time. Sometimes I need my own time that I can relieve, and it's an awesome place to be able to do that. You're going to the beach, you're going surfing, you're going stand-up paddle, you're going, wakeboarding.
When you go to the beach, you're riding your bike or you're driving your car through the jungle on your way to the beach. You're seeing monkeys, you're seeing sloths.
Incredible, yeah.
It's a little bit unreal. Yeah, it's quite surreal. We have felt during the lockdown now too, because we're still able to ride our bikes, go to the beach and stand up paddle, and we do all of that as a family.
That must be nice. Stuck in the house eating Oreos is not doing so well on my waistline.
A little bit.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, each week, I'm doing this Sunday spin. I've been talking to people in Boquete, and last week we were over in Boca Chica, and during the show, people are showing me, or after the show, their view, and I'm like, I haven't seen the ocean for so long. Like, only when I drop my wife off at work, because she's still working full time right now, and it's like I get that little glimpse of the ocean out in front of Panama City, which is so beautiful. But yeah, I cannot wait to get back over to Bocas del Toro. God, I just miss that place so much. Now, there's one thing I do want to know, especially because not just for your personal life, but also for business. How is it living on an island and doing shopping? I mean, is everything readily available there to you? Are you ordering? Are you going?
It has evolved so much. When we first started the restaurant, it was like almost impossible. It was very stressful. There were no food distributors coming to the island. There were a few trucks that came. Veggies and fruit came once or twice a week. Now
it was a full experience back in the day, because it's like, okay, we have like 20 pineapples, so yeah, we fine for today. And all of a sudden it's like, we need 25 pineapples. We need more 5 pineapples. Where are we going to get the pineapples? And you run in all the island. It's like, there's no pineapples in the island. So it's kind of interesting. It got much better now. It's a lot more supermarkets and different, we go in chinitos, the Chinese grocery store. So many of them now. It's so much easier to do that. But normally, or better days, it's how Tyson say is for cost. And for producing, it has to be a lot more aware of what you're going to need, what expectations of what you have to get out of the island to be able to produce in a lower cost and be more competitive in the industry and everything. So it's a lot more being every step you do have to go like 4 or 5 steps ahead instead of like just 1 or 2. It's not just like
But you get used to it though, huh?
Used to it, and now you can order from PriceSmart. You can order online from different places in David, some of the bigger stores in David. There are different companies that run errands for people in Panama City too, and then they just send you your stuff. There's trucks going back and forth all the time. You can really get anything. I think the biggest thing we got the fastest once was our couch disintegrated, and we ordered a new couch from Furniture City, got it paid for and picked up, and on the island in less than 24 hours.
Incredible. And that's like a pretty long drive, like a 10-hour drive. So,
well, no, because from David, it's like, 4 hours.
Yeah, David. I forget about David, sitting here and
now with the also like if you need things or like random things now with the online shopping, you can buy things and you have different options to get here, like hot specs and MacBooks, etc., and all the stuff. Then now you need like
Entrega, Hot Express, mailboxes, etc. You can order things online or get things from other parts of Panama just shipped through their internal systems too.
Yeah, that's super cool, and it makes it so much easier to live out on an island.
Totally.
Because like that's like one thing, there's always those one little things. It's like, oh my gosh, like how do I get ice cream?
When I got here 17 years ago, I think there were 2 supermarket-ish, semi-mini, and 1 like really mini supermarket, and everything closed like around 7, I want to think. So anything after 7, you were out of luck. Anything on a Sunday, you were out of luck. And those places had very minimal things. Now we're really spoiled.
Yeah, and things have really taken off in Bocas, and
it used to be low, the nap time too back in the day.
Yeah, people used to close for siesta. Nobody closes
everything was
closed
anymore. For siesta. No, it has changed a lot.
Of course, and hopefully we can get Bocas open again, or at least Panama as like internal tourism. I know everybody here in the city, especially. I mean, I am fortunate enough to be living in Albrook. This morning I have a park in front of my house. I saw 9 toucans. I kept thinking like, am I still asleep? Like I see them bouncing around up there, and then they started flying out. Choo, choo. And there was freaking 9 of them. I was like, but I can imagine these people that are sitting in a condo apartment in Panama City, it's like, once they open that door and they let us out, everyone's going to be going for the ocean. So that would be really good. That would be really good to see the internal tourism. Plus, I'm imagining that, some of these wealthier Panamanians that would typically be in Europe or maybe in parts of the U.S. at this time of the year aren't going to be so eager to just jump on an airplane and go over where, hey, come rediscover the beauty of your country. I remember the first time I took my wife to Bocas, and she hadn't been there for a long time, probably 17, 20 years ago. And she was just like, wow, what the heck? There's like restaurants everywhere, hotels. And now this is 5 years, 6 years later. We're even, Bocas has developed more and more. You're seeing so much more eco. There's so much eco responsibility. There's no plastic forks and spoons and knives and straws and no styrofoam. So, it's such a neat community that, there's a lot of really little positive things about Bocas that once you get there, it's why you fall in love and you never leave.
You don't want to leave.
Awesome. Well, Kelly, Juan Pablo, I love you guys. Always a pleasure to see you. I wish it was in person. Cheers into a beer.
Me too.
I'll be there soon. I promise. Once they open the doors, I'll be there.
Thank you for having us, Austin. We look forward to having you back too.
Awesome, guys. We'll see you soon. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. We got Sara Hernadez coming into us for the final interview of the day. She's the office manager over at Inside Panama Island Realty. Sara, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you so much, Austin. How are you?
Oh, well, I'm a little jealous talking to all you folks over in beautiful paradise, but I'm coming back soon.
Oh, good. I hope so. It is beautiful out here.
Yeah, and you guys are sending over the pictures, which we're going to share with everyone in just a minute. Sara's going to run through 3 different listings, and Sarah, I was looking at some of those photos. Oh my goodness. Like the one with the finca where you can see like the islands, it just reminds me when you're flying in on the airplane where you see all the islands everywhere. It's surreal, something most people probably never see in their lifetimes.
Oh, absolutely. It's breathtaking. And all these different properties that we're going to go through right now, they all have their unique, the unique thing that makes them beautiful. We got a sustainable farm, we got a house, a big creek with an amazing view. So there's a bunch of different options that we're going to go through so you guys can see each and every one.
I love it. Now, before we jump into those, I want to ask you just a few questions. You've been involved over there with real estate for quite a while. Tell me, where do you see most people coming from?
Well, honestly, that's what makes Bocas so great is it's all over around the world. I mean, it is international. We got a lot of people lately, I think, coming from France, from Spain, a lot of inquiries from there, from the US, Canada as well. So it's really all over. And I think that's what makes Bocas stand out so much.
Very cool. Yeah, I agree. I mean, come on, you're on these beautiful islands. And then tell me, what are some of your favorite parts about living in Bocas?
Oh, I mean, there's just so much to offer. I mean, all the beauty, all the beach activities, just being able to ride anywhere you can on your bike and, nothing's too far away from each other. The wildlife, the nature, the baby turtles, the monkeys, all kinds of stuff.
You can't forget the baby turtles.
No, you can't. Right now, they're actually hatching. So my friend's been sending me a lot of pictures over in Drago. So it's really beautiful. It's a great thing.
Oh, yeah, those are so cool. Yeah, and we got the turtles hatching over there. We got the humpback whales on the Pacific side. It's that time of year again. And man, both of those things, I've watched the turtles hatch and such an incredible experience. One other question I want to go over because it's very, very important to anybody looking at moving anywhere. Now, everybody that we've had on the show today, including yourself, is in pretty relaxed clothing. There's no sweaters. There's no hoodies. It looks pretty warm there. But talk to us a little bit about the weather in Bocas del Toro. What can someone expect when living in Bocas?
Well, honestly, it's pretty sunny most year round. And you have your rainy seasons. You got to expect that, which it's not too often, and it doesn't last for, weeks or months at a time. So, and then the days are, I would say, basically sunny, nice enough to go outside. And if there is rain, it's normally pretty good for the surfers because that's when the swells come in. So they'll be outside in the water as well. So I would say in any day you could have rain or sun. It could vary, very easily. But for the most part, I think you're looking for sunshine.
Of course. And we got to remind people, especially that are watching from outside of Panama, I'm from the Northwest. When you say rain, it means like the devil and angry and freezing and horrible and life sucks. But that's not the case in Panama. It's a romantic rain. It's a downpour. It's actually tranquilo. It makes you just kind of sit back, relax. Sometimes it goes on for 10 minutes. Sometimes it goes on for 3 hours. Sometimes it goes on every day. I think maybe in Panama City, we have 20, maybe less full days of rain. So, and again, it's not freezing cold. It's beautiful and warm. And so when we say rain,
it's tropical rain.
Tropical.
You want to go outside in it. It doesn't matter if you still want to play in the beach. It feels just as great if it's not raining. It doesn't stop your day like it would in other places. It's not cold. You're not freezing. You don't have to put on a jacket. I can go out in a bikini and go jumping right in the water, paddleboard, whatever you feel like, whatever activity you like. Snorkeling and other things you would want maybe on a clearer day, but I mean, you could even go out on the quads on a rainy day. I mean, it's nice out here. You play in the rain rather than hide.
Well, yeah, and the quads are actually more fun on a rainy day. I love going out. I think that's probably one thing I tell everyone about is you got to go with flying pirates, go flying through the jungle.
Yep.
It's like 109% illegal for the United States. Like it's just super extreme. I've taken my dad. I just took my a really good friend from college back in February before this whole COVID thing came. And, anyone you take on that, they come out and they're like, what is this? This is insane. We're going through mud. We're flying. There sounds like there's big monkeys, but they're teeny monkeys. But yeah,
there's a lot of them. Yeah.
There's a lot of them. Well, let's break into some of these properties. I think some people want to see what Bocas has to offer. I'm going to share my screen here. Just walk us through it. I got a series of all three properties. They go in order here. And yeah, give us your info.
Sounds good.
All right. There we go.
All right. So this is Finca Matumbal. This finca right here, the sale price is for $14.9 million. It does have 5 houses on the property. It is 45 hectares, so roughly around 111 acres. Now, currently I'm staying on this farm, so I've got to learn a lot about it. It has so much to offer. It's so beautiful. That's the boathouse right there. And right next to it, you can see the casita and the cabina. So those are 3 of the other houses that are on the property, with the canal that you can go out paddle boarding, you can go out snorkeling, bringing in and out your boats. That's another shot from a little bit higher of the boathouse and the casita.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a nighttime shot that's the big house. Now that house has 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. It does have a game room, a theater room, an office. It has an elevator from the 1st to the 3rd floor. It's very luxurious. And that's the view from the 3rd floor.
That's not too bad of a view, huh?
No, not at all.
Gosh, it's beautiful. You can see the ocean in the background.
You can see all the way to you can see the mountains all the way to the volcano. On a clear day, you can see it all. It's gorgeous.
Ah, incredible.
And that's the kitchen, which is very fun to cook in. You have a lot of space, if you can see. And that's where you also have an entertainment room right next to it. The living room. Cool. Right there's the living room. And that's the downstairs. That's the 3rd floor. Now that's going to be the game room. You got the ping pong table, pool table. You'll have your laundry room. There's an exercise room, and there's an office down there. So it's actually quite big.
Yeah, and I like the door too.
Yeah,
Peace
isn't
and
it
love.
nice? It has a lot of detail. This place has a lot of character.
Yeah, probably much more. So anybody that wants to hear more info on this house, remember, email Inside Panama, free ebook at ipreinfo.com. And all of this information and more, they're going to help you out with. Man, this is cool.
Yeah.
Does it come with
cool
boats?
It does. It depends on how you would want to purchase it. But if you do want to purchase it with the boats and all the accessories that come with the property, yes, that's a possibility.
Very cool.
It is a bamboo restoration project. So benefits include no taxes, no production, import or export advantages, no property taxes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so all that can be included if you're interested. And that's Guanabana. It's just on the farm. We have a lot of and that's the generator, which it's sustainable.
And so then is there a well on the property, or is there a well for each house? How does that work?
It's rain catchment all around the entire property. Very cool. And that is the casita.
Cute
it's a one
home.
bedroom. It's a 1 bedroom, 1.5 bath. It is a little home right off the water. That's a picture.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Nice place to sit and enjoy the afternoon.
Absolutely.
All right. So these are the photos I was telling you about. Oh my goodness. Tell us a little bit about this, Sara.
Oh, I love this property. This is Finca Solarte. This is one of my favorite locations. This property is 3.7 hectares. It is for $199K. It has 600 feet of water frontage where you can, create the most amazing marina. And it has just rolling hills. It's absolutely beautiful. All kinds of different fruit on it. You got limes, you got apples, and manzana de agua, which is a water apple. Yucca, just mangoes, just a bit of everything.
Very neat. And how big did you say this was?
It's 3.7 hectares with 600 feet of water frontage.
Very neat. So yeah, a lot of different opportunities can be had here. That's for
lot.
sure.
The rolling
very
hill,
nice.
there's a lot of places to build right on, and that's the next property right there that came up. That's the house in
So,
Blue Creek.
great. Tell us a little bit about this house.
Okay, so this house is 3-bedroom with an office, upstairs and 2 bath. Downstairs, it's not finished yet. It does have a 1-bedroom and 1 bath downstairs so far, and the rest of the bottom unit you can do as you please with. That is the upstairs. It has a beautiful bar. That's the kitchen area.
Great
It's a
ceiling. I love the ceiling.
Yeah, it's a wonderful house. It's built to US standards. They have really high ceilings. It's very spacious. It's a wonderfully built house.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It has a beautiful balcony that runs through the front of it. It's on a 1/4 acre. It's for $400,000.
Yeah, it's very spacious. Yeah, you're right. The ceilings are, gosh, that's like 20, 25 feet, huh?
Yeah, no, they're really high. They're beautiful. I really, really enjoy this house. I use it as a vacation rental, and it sells out. I mean, it's always booked. It's
So yeah, that's
it's
another
right
thing.
I'm
that we
sorry.
should
It's 'cause it's right
we
next to the beach.
Okay, right next to the beach. And then just so, yeah, people know that this is already a rental. So anyone looking for a foreign investment, or maybe even just coming down part-time of the year and spending the rest of the time back home, you can, generate an income from this property, which is really awesome as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
And that's the balcony outside. And like you said, if you just walk out and you're the second house from the beach.
Beautiful. Awesome. Well, that takes us to the end of the photos there. Jump back over. Awesome, Sarah. Well, that was really neat. Like I said, those photos of that land were beautiful. That first house was just incredible. That last house, really like that as well. Guys, you want more information on that? Again, email Inside Panama, free ebook at ipreinfo.com. And again, speaking of free ebook, you definitely want to get your free ebook. It's like a $300 value. It's yours for free. It's got tons of great info, from bringing pets and all this great stuff to expect to getting your residency, getting everything set up. Guys, definitely want to email Inside Panama to get that free ebook and to ask them any other questions you have. Sarah, I appreciate you coming on the show, sharing those great listings with us. Is there anything that you would like to end the show with, or anything that you could tell clients before coming, what they can plan for when coming to Panama?
Well, I could say plan to have a good time, come with open-minded, enjoy the lifestyle, the change, the culture, the vibes. And like I said, just stay open-minded and, come check out some property, because it's amazing out here.
Of course.
It's the most beautiful place. I feel blessed that ended up having to do the quarantine here. So I'm lucky.
Yeah, very lucky. Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you to everyone that joined us on this live today. Remember, this is being powered by Inside Panama Real Estate. They're doing the fly and try program, guys. That's right. If you want to come down to Panama, try it out. They will pay that first month's rent on your rental if you purchase a property with them. Get more details. Again, the email is free ebook at ipreinfo.com. Thank you again. Time to have a good time in Panama. We'll see you guys down here soon. Until next Sunday, ciao.
Bye.